dad was like, "Hey, we haven't really listened to your podcast yet. Send us a link or something like that." I'm like, "Smash or Pass was the last episode."
Dude, my mom, one of my friends who listens to the podcast, she was talking about it with my mom, and she was like, "Hey, Fuzzy Auntie, you should check it out." And my mom asked me, she was like, "Hey, can I listen to your podcast?" I was like, "Mom, it's not really for you. Like, you might not like. It's not really your kind of stuff. It's more like new age hipster type of conversation." She was like, "Oh, okay."
I was like, to my dad, I was like, "Yeah, my brother, he listened to it, and he was, he was doing his art piece the other day with, like, while listening to it. He goes, okay, well, send us the link to see." And I was like, "Which one? XYZ, the division.x sites, which one could I actually
You can't send them the college ones because those are the depressing ones.
Yeah, no.
But you can't also send them the, really silly ones, because that'll just expose you. Like, if you do the childhood crushes one,
my mom will be like walking with one earpod in and be like holding a shoe, like, Jessica Alba mean, huh? Jessica Alba, wallah. What?
He's gonna immediately exposed by everything. Like, your siblings, they probably relate to a lot of those things.
Somebody's be like, "Yeah, okay,
your
sure,
parents,
she's hot."
They're gonna be like, "You thought what when you watch Fairly Odd Parent?
You thought she was who? Get. We don't have crucifix. Get the member. Get something.
Yeah, what do we have instead of a crucifix?
I guess we have like a crescent, but we don't really use that at all. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Two Bros and a Beard. My name is Ibrahim.
My name is Assad.
And today we have a very, very debatable topic. And we've been kind of discussing this a little bit, not too much, but I've seen it a lot on TikTok and social media. And I was like, let's raise this question and see what the world believes.
I think the funny thing is, it was a singular meme that I saw. And I was like,
oh, I saw a lot.
This is not going to catch on.
I saw way too many.
I'm not going to need to worry about this. I didn't put any more thought into it. I saw some weird JPEG, little pixely, and I was like, alright, never gonna need to look up at this again.
Yeah, so the debate is, what is there more of? Doors or wheels? Like tires, like circle wheels, run down the one way. And I honestly thought it was a joke as well, because the first TikTok I saw was like, the guy explaining it, and then some guy that was called like duetted it or stitched it. It was like, bro, think about this, and like the doors and like the wheels and everything. And I was like, okay. Sure. I never thought about this. Probably will never think about it ever again. And then I just moved on with life. And then 3 TikToks later, it's the same discussion. And then the next day, the same discussion. And then somehow on Twitter, like 4 days later, some guy brought it up on my timeline, I guess is what it's called on Twitter. And I was like, why is this a discussion? And then there's people that are going like an extra step, and they're like connecting it to other things like balls versus like boobs and like chairs versus like beds or something.
I saw chairs versus beds.
They're just expanding things out of nowhere. But the original debate was wheels versus doors.
I thought the central question was what's more useful.
No, it was what's there more of.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Because you got to think about it, and I thought they literally just meant doors and wheels, as in like cars. But then people started bringing up like, well, there's doors in like toy cars. There's doors on like cars, on like car doors, blah, blah, blah. There's pantry doors. There's doors inside of an apartment.
I think
there's fridge doors.
I think the argument is very like centered, especially because in that original post, there was a picture of a door, like an actual door. I think it's real doors, not like car doors, side doors.
Well, sure. But then there's a bunch of people that are like, well, you can't say that because there's also the little other doors, or there's also wheels on, like
any circular object that spins a thing is a wheel.
No, they're considering actual wheels. They're not saying like a ball is a wheel.
A bearing can be a wheel.
They're not considering a bearing a wheel. They're talking about like an actual wheel. That's not a wheel.
If you can say that a
wheel
car
as
door
a tire
is a door, then duct tape should be a wheel.
A car door is a door. You open door, you close door.
When you were in elementary school, did you make like when you guys used to make like toy cars, right? Did you you didn't have industrial rubber with a metal wheel and a everything to make?
But that represented a door.
You would just put like a ball or like a pool ball or something.
I never put a ball. I would make a tire.
If the argument is like a door on a toy can count, then I think any circular object that has the potential to roll is a wheel.
But you can't put say you take a ball, right? I don't know. I think I Robot, the movie with Will Smith, the big trucks that like would carry robots around had like I guess like Omni wheels or whatever, but like they were just balls instead of tires. So are you saying you can put a ball under a door under a car and call that a tire?
Yeah. If it's an Omni wheel, it's designed.
It's not an Omni wheel. It's literally just a ball. I was just like giving an example. Like that's how it would work.
Wheels don't necessarily just have to be like circular prisms. Like
a cylinder.
Like a cylinder. Yeah, they don't have to be cylinders. They're just things that spin and
well, that's not the argument.
They roll. That's basically all it is. Like the first wheel wasn't even made out of rubber, it was stone.
Yeah, no one's saying it's made out of rubber. Like the wheels that they brought up, one guy brought it up was like shoot, what was it? It's like in conveyor belts. Those are metal wheels because like, you know, you put the little tank threader on it or whatever and like you run a bag over it in the airport.
I mean, I don't.
But those aren't wheels because they're not rubber. They're wheels because it's metal, circular, cylinder thing.
Right. I mean, I think you could like. I wouldn't say gear is a wheel, but I would say like, what's that thing on zip lines? Like, the reel on the zip lines. It's two bearing type things that spin opposite to each other to pull up and down the line, right? Like on elevators. Yeah. Those would count.
I think those are called like what are they called? Conveyor wheels?
Something.
Conveyor or something?
All I know is in like Warzone, that's what you like, you know, you put on the
click
line.
on, you go zing. Yeah.
Like film reels. Film reels would be wheels because they spin in place, but they spin and they're circular and cylindrical. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
I think that you should really limit the argument to literal wheels that are on cars and literal doors that are for going in and out of rooms.
Then can you have the actual argument of toy cars? I have wheels.
Toy cars have both wheels and doors.
So
because they both have 4 wheels and on average 4 doors, they should cancel out really.
Sure, but can you at least add them to the argument?
What I mean by cancel is that it shouldn't matter.
No, but it has to matter because they're counting it in the argument.
I'm saying no. You shouldn't.
But people are still doing it.
I don't know if that's the right thing though, because
just because it cancels out doesn't mean anything.
Extraneous for no.
What about like a truck? A truck only has like 2 doors if it's like a coupe, or like a 350Z is a coupe, 2 doors but four wheels.
I mean, another way of thinking about it, Ibrahim, is if I give you like an object, right, and I tell you that the mass is X mass in kilograms, right, and then some nerd walks in and he's like, well, actually, it's blah 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 amount of atoms and moles and all this stuff. Are you gonna be like, you're wrong? No, you're right. Technically you're right, but that's a different argument. It doesn't help anybody. So like the conversation is about wheels on cars and doors for entering rooms. It's not supposed to be that complicated that you go down to, oh, what about a toy car? What about a toy door? Like the doors in Barbie sets. Like, would you count those? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. That's what the argument is. That's what everyone is saying. That's what everyone is saying.
Would you count every cabinet as a door?
Yeah, that's what they said.
This is actually
dumb. That's
why
I bring this up.
This is actually dumb. No, this doesn't make any sense. It's doors.
Doors are doors because they're called cabinet doors.
That's whoever calls their cabinet doors.
Open the cabinet and then do it. Yeah, sure. But when they're labeled as cabinet doors.
I've never seen a labeled cabinet.
I worked at Lowe's for a little while.
Listen, my definition of
this is a cabinet
is something
and
that
then a
you
cabinet
use
door
to open and get, like, you use it to get in between rooms.
Okay, sure.
It has a hinge. That's important. It's not like a window. It has to have a hinge.
There has to be a hinge
and a handle, and it's a plank of wood on the hinge.
What if it's like glass? Because like those glass, bougie like apartments.
Mine is metal and glass, right?
There, yeah.
Fine. Not wood, but just it has to be like a medium, a sheet of something.
Right.
That you use to get into a room. And a wheel for me is a rubber coated, or not coated, but like a rubber thing around a metal wheel that it spins on a car to make it move.
Okay.
So if you want to be that complicated and you want to include
let's throw the complicated out of that, right?
If you want to include the toy cars and you want to include the Barbie doors, that's fine.
Let's throw the complicated out for a second, right? So with just the specifications of doors, as in like room doors and like getting to houses,
right,
and then rubber tires on a car. Mm-hmm. What's more?
So I was actually thinking about this while you were introducing the topic, and initially I was like, "Duh, wheels."
Right. Okay.
Like it's easy.
Right.
Right. For every one house, 4 wheels minimum. If you live in a suburb, you gotta have a car. Most people have cars. Bicycles have wheels. Like, wheels seem like you see them more often. But then I thought about it again, and I was like, but in a house, there's a minimum of 2 doors.
Right.
Right? 2 points of egress, I think that's what that's called. Like, you have an entry and an exit, so that if either one is closed, either one you can go to. And then you also have every entrance to every room, so depending on the size of the house, you either have 1 door minimum, I think, other than the front door and the back door, or you'll have multiple. And then for each room, you can have smaller doors, like for a closet or a hallway,
or a pantry,
or a broom closet, or a powder room. So, like, in rooms, you can also have doors, like that door that... I have 2 doors on my bathroom because it's a Jack and Jill bathroom. Mm-hmm. But then I also thought about it, like, my shower also has a door.
Right, and that's so like a glass door, yeah.
That's even more, like... So there's more doors in my house than wheels in just my house alone.
Right.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, I guess doors.
And there's also, like, apartments. Doors. Each apartment complex has, like... Every apartment has X amount of doors, and then climb up there.
If it has... Most apartments that are on the... not on the... inside, but on the edges, right, they have balconies, so all those are doors too. And then you have, X amount of bathrooms and X amount of rooms which will have doors. Closets will have doors. Sometimes the kitchens will have like a side door, like like open concept kitchens.
Yeah.
And then there's the other kind where there's like, it's like a bar area, and there's like sometimes there's doors
right
that you go through to go into the area. That could be something. So I was like, man, doors really are like everywhere. I didn't think about it, but doors are freaking everywhere. Do you think that a double door should count as 1 door or 2 doors?
What do you mean a double door?
Like how when we go to school, it's 2 doors that you can push?
I think they individually say like 1 door. Like one.
What?
No, sorry. Like as in like there's a left door and a right door.
Right door, right. So there's 2 doors there.
Yeah, I think there's.
It's not 1 door as a unit.
Because you can't open that full section.
Right.
Open 1 and then 1.
That's what I'm also thinking. And like.
Unless it's wrong.
Like, when you hit the assistance button for the doors?
Yeah, accessibility, disability.
Technically, I guess that would make it a single door, but it's still 2 hinges opening, so I would say that's 2 doors.
No, in school, you hit it, only 1 opens.
Well, that's the one that's designed like that.
Sure.
But, like, for example, if you go to any recreation centers, it's the double doors that open with those assistance buttons. Yeah. And, like, sliding doors, like at Walmart.
Some sliding doors have wheels.
Yeah. Well...
But then again, you get into the little nitpicky. What is a wheel?
All that stuff. Like, that's why I don't think you should count a bearing or like stupid stuff like anything that's circular that rolls is not that. Then wheels would win.
Well, no, it's more of like
this microphone is circular in shape, which would
no. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not circular only. Wheels isn't like wheels.
And bolts.
Bolts are not counted as wheels. Caps are not counted as wheels. Cups are not counted as wheels.
But I'm saying if you want to get extraneous, that's why you shouldn't, because it's like.
But they're not counting that as wheels, though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're counting wheels as like ball. No, sorry, back up. They're counting wheels as like tires, normal tires.
Right.
They're counting wheels as like the little conveyor belt wheels, which is not technically a bearing or a bolt, nuts and bolts type of thing.
It's like a weird mix.
It's right in the middle, because some wheels / tires are also like just full metal plates.
Right.
And like they roll because they're on an axis of some sort. Mm-hmm. So wait, then I guess like the argument: does a wheel have to be on an axis? Or can it be by itself?
I think that helps specify it, because then, any circular object can roll. But if it's something on an axis, that means it's typically trying to roll an object with it. So that means that it would be more like a car than...
Car, conveyor belt.
Like if you take the bottle cap off of your...
I don't think they're getting down to bottle caps.
It seems
based off of what I've seen. No.
It's not that they're making the decision, it's that they're asking that question. But that's like too specific.
But based on what I've seen from like the thousands of people talking about this for some stupid reason, they're not getting down to bottle caps and balls. They're getting down to like actual wheels, something that looks like a wheel.
Would you call like the motors in a computer or any engine?
Can your computer get from one point to from point A to point B by itself?
Or technically, a wheel by itself cannot go from one point to another.
Not like by itself. I'm saying like, can it move? You have to like move it
and all that.
You have to pick up and move your computer.
I mean,
you drive a car, you put a gas pedal.
But the point of the wheels in the computer is not to move it; it's to power something.
But that's not exactly. Is there an actual wheel in there?
Where do you want to draw your lines?
I'm asking, like, what's the wheel in there?
I would say like the fans.
That's a fan. That's why it's considered a fan. That's not a wheel.
But it's a thing that spins. It just so happens that the spokes on the wheel, like on a bike, are curved to make a current. But it's still a fan.
I'm gonna Google
it's still like a circle spinny thing.
When what's it called? When I thought of this like as a topic for the podcast, I was like, we should Google. No, I'm not gonna Google anything. Let me wait until we record.
We should make a whole research project.
What's it called? Doors. Bro, the first thing to look up: doors versus wheels. I can explain it. The man behind the
It's tearing apart the universe.
Are there more doors in the world than wheels? We asked an MIT professor for an answer.
An MIT professor?
USA Today.
Dude, are we really this bored this deep into the pandemic that now we're like, yo, let's ask MIT professors about what they
Surprise debate takes over Twitter. Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
So that's what I'm saying. Every image that we see is
it's a door
wheel and a door.
Yeah.
So we should really just keep it to those
Hey,
things.
Brent, this is the original post I saw. This dude named Ryan Nixon, who's like, my mates and I are having the stupidest debate, and I'm here for it. Do you think there are more doors or wheels in the world?
Wheels.
And everyone said wheels.
Interesting.
And then everyone's like, wait, hold on, there's more to it. And that's why they're starting to say, like, tractor wheels and, like, the car toys and all that mumbo-jumbo. Also, that's true. It's very much like the little, do you see white or do you see
it is very
white and
much
gold
like
or do you see blue or black thing?
Except I think this one has a more definitive answer than that one. That one was just straight up crazy. It was blue and black, though. If you saw gold, you're probably tripping.
No, the thing goes like I think what I heard was someone took the picture that was originally white and gold, and then like inverted like colors and like played with it, and then he sent out also that picture. So then everyone was like, "I'm seeing both."
Mm.
So that's
do you remember those videos where it's like, "Do you hear Sarah or do you hear Salamander?"
Those were stupid.
Those actually got me.
So no. Are there more wheels in the world? You'd probably have the gut instinct. Okay, but then you sound a question and then start thinking blah blah blah. And then your brain is scratched away, and your brain has probably one scratch bar. So what the hell are you even saying?
This is fluff. It's just fluff.
It's all fluff. Where's the answer? I want the point blank answer. There is no way to know whether there are more wheels than doors.
Thank you, MIT professor.
This is not. This is USA Today. Logic tells us that there could be an answer to this question, but how would anyone possibly be able to measure a question of such stature in the mere time of an average lifespan? Huh?
Obviously, someone is not taking chemistry.
Me?
No,
or them?
The author.
Yeah, I guess
you can find out how many particles are in a thing. This is easy. A statistician could be able to figure this out. Michael Coppinger could figure this out.
Boy, don't give him the clout. Look, last sentence on this article says, Twitter users have put their logic and reasoning skills to test trying to solve this essentially impossible query.
Impossible query.
And then it keeps going. On one user tried to do math, estimating the average doors and wheels a family might have in their home. Every average house, say, 20 doors. Every family, 18 wheels. Every bus, 8 wheels, 2 doors. Train, 80 wheels, 4 doors. They wrote. Hospital, schools, hundreds of doors, no wheels. Bicycles, 2 wheels, no doors. My guess, doors. She really went into this.
I respect that. I respect the dedication to the craft.
Okay, yeah. See, here's what I bring up. Here's why I brought up wheels. So this guy, he posts, is Lily Franklin? I guess it's a girl. She said on Twitter, who is voting doors? Question mark. There's wheels on everything. I have wheels on my garment rack, makeup storage holder, rubbish bin. That's a weird word.
These are Brits.
It's definitely wheels. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's arguments, like, that's where it got down to.
No, I can understand it. It just doesn't make sense.
But it's also a wheel. Yeah, that's... everything's
you can call your shower curtains wheels. Like, these are very...
That's not a... Hold on. How is your shower curtain a wheel?
Or at least, like, I have a certain shower curtain where, like, the circles spin in order to move left and right.
Then that's a... Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the conveyor belt.
Kind of like a conveyor belt thing,
I guess. Does a gate count as a door? Because you said
yes,
solid plank.
Yes, I would say a gate counts as a door.
But earlier you said solid plank of material.
I just said plank, a sheet. It doesn't need to be solid. My door has, like, all those decorative designs.
Oh, they also asked, what about a cabinet?
Yeah. Well, no, dude, you know how, like, freaking grandfather clocks have the little thing with the the cuckoo bird comes out?
Yeah, that's a door.
Door.
In my head, that's a door.
That's a freaking door. But I'm not going to count that. That's stupid.
I mean, I think I would. I never even thought about that until right now. At the end of the day, there's no right answer, and the likelihood of either one being is very, very low. So if you think there's more wheels and your friends think there are more doors, there's no need to start a riot. And you should probably get back to whatever you're doing before you started thinking about this. Damn, bro.
Well, whatever we were doing was definitely infinitely less important than figuring this out, so I think we should stick on it a little longer.
USA Today really been like out here calling all of us idiots, like, hey, go back to what you were doing.
They just wasted your entire time and said stop wasting your time.
Yeah.
Damn.
The poll saw the wheels beat outdoors, but only about 7%. Regardless of polls outcomes, the mind-boggling question had people creating graphs and formulas to prove their answer. See, this is the one time where things from like school would come into our actual lives.
That's so sad.
When me and you are having an argument that I say wheels and you say doors, and I'm like, no, bro, look at the graph I created. When you have this and the x-axis increases by 100 million,
oh no, but your y-intercept is incorrect. You have to.
No, bro, but look, the z-axis creates a tire.
Hey, I said doors, but you never actually said what your thoughts are.
Okay, so the issue with me answering was that like I've been reading up on like or like watching the Twitter, TikTok stuff and like that, and then Twitter stuff. The reason I can't give an answer if we don't consider all like the weird nitpicky things is because I'm like my mind is in that nitpicky thing like version of this argument, and my answer would have been wheels. But like if you're trying to take out all the nitpickies, we're just talking about like an actual door and an actual like tire or wheel.
Or like use the bounds that we've created from
based on that bounds.
What we've spoken about.
Every car has 5 tires, 5 wheels.
Right.
Because there's a spare.
Yeah.
And
I mean, sometimes you get like a spider where there's like 3 wheels.
Sure, but there's still a spare in there.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it's not 5, it's 4.
But like an average, say like a normal car.
Right.
Not including like motorcycles or bikes, which we probably should.
I mean, I just mentioned.
Because there's a bike. Are you
mentioned it? Does a bike have doors?
A bike does not have doors. What the hell are you talking about? How do you rob a car? You break in through the door. How do you rob a bike? You sit on it.
A motorcycle? I don't know.
You sit on it.
You have to enter the bike somehow, right?
Yeah, you imagine having a bike and you're hanging out with your friends. Like, guys, sorry, I can't hear you. I'm in my mic.
Sorry, I'm locked out on my motorcycle.
Yeah, I'm in my bike. I can't get in.
I locked the keys inside. I can't get in.
That's why whenever like cars get pulled over by cops, they're like, turn off the engine, right? Whatever, and then they come talk to you, do whatever. But whenever like motorcycles get pulled over, most of the time cops will be like, give me your keys.
Oh wow,
that's what I've seen recently.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Because it's very just put in the key and drive off.
All right.
Versus like
bamboozle those oppas.
Yeah, versus a car where you actually have to like put in the key, turn the engine, and then drive off, or like put it into drive and then drive off.
Would eggs be wheels?
No.
Yeah.
Eggs are food.
But you can roll them.
You can't attach it to a car and make it roll.
You can't attach it to a car, but you can attach it to a Hot Wheel.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
It's also not a circular. It's more of like a weird teardrop looking thing.
Yeah, sure.
Everything can roll. You can roll. Are you a tire?
Are
you
a wheel? That's what I'm telling you.
Are you a wheel?
Humans could technically be wheels.
No, they couldn't.
That's what I'm telling you. Anything that rolls is a really bad definition for a wheel.
But it's not anything that rolls. No one said anything that rolls.
So then why are people saying like the elevator stuff?
What elevator thing?
Like all of the
There's also elevator doors. Anyway, continue.
That is true. That is true. You know how elevator doors have like a second layer on the inside?
Sure, okay.
You know what I mean? Like there's always
there's the middle
like
and then there's the
that
thing.
Come out?
Yeah.
Right. Will each of those count as a door?
Yeah, because it's 2 separate doors. They close at different times, so it's 2 separate doors.
So I guess my stomach just popped off.
Pop off?
I guess like what is this? Okay, because like on elevators and most things that have circles that pull things that use them like levers and pulleys and stuff, right? The wheel itself isn't translating in distance. It's only rotating in place, right? But in a car, the wheel is rotating, which causes a 2-dimensional translation in motion or 3-dimensional translation in motion. So it's like it's not only spinning, but the spinning is causing it to move in 3D space. So in that case, you can't count the elevator thing, my shower. Actually, my shower.
The shower thing is kind of weird.
But like, you can't count the zippy tie thing. You can't count film reels. You can't count like treads on a tank. You can't count like
treads on a tank or no wheels.
Things. No, some tanks have those circle-y things like gear trains.
But then it's a gear because you just said gear train.
You can't count gears.
You can't count gears. No one counted gears. What's it called? Also, I thought of right now because this picture. You know how like what's that one place? Rent a Tire. They just have like a wall full of tires, which is a wheel. We never accounted for that.
Just static wheels. I don't think we should account for one rent a tire that has a bunch of wheels on a wall.
But you have to because that's a wheel. Like there's wheels in there.
Here's a question.
Sam's has a bunch of wheels.
Does the debate mean like all items in eternity, or does it mean like
I think so.
Used items? Because like,
what do you mean used items?
A company that makes wheels will have them in storage. Do you count every unit they have in storage?
Yes.
Or like when you go to Home Depot, all those doors that are out there for display, but they're not actually being used. They're not actually functioning as doors. So would you count them as
See,
doors?
look, this guy said, think of all the wheels in the elevators, wheels in all the drawers and desks. Every chair in the building has 4 wheels on it. There would be 100 to 1 ratio of wheels to doors in a building alone.
That's a BS ratio, bro. 100 to 1?
Yeah, that's a little big number.
In a building?
But he's comparing, like, all the wheels in there.
Are glass windows doors?
Glass windows, doors. No, because that's a window.
If a cabinet can be a cabinet door, then a window can be a window door.
A cabinet is labeled a section where you put, like, cans in it, for example, right? A cabinet door is called a cabinet door because it's a door.
Okay, but I can jump out of a window,
Sorry
and therefore I'll get it out of there. You can a glass window. You can technically enter and exit a room with.
Yeah, 100 feet in the air, you can exit and enter.
Not even 100 feet. You can do that ground floor.
Yeah, but I'm saying in an apartment building that's like a skyscraper, for example, is that considered a door?
My fridge right here.
That's a door.
Right? It has a glass pane on it.
But so you can't enter through that.
Straight through that.
That's
thing.
not a door.
And
now you're overthinking
I'm inside the fridge.
No, you're overthinking a little too much.
I'm overthinking it?
Yeah, bro, because a door is a door and a wheel is a wheel.
Rich. If a door is a door and a wheel is a wheel, then we wouldn't need to debate.
That's why they said wheels and not
things.
tires, like car tires. They said wheels.
There are actually wheel-assisted hinges too. Like one wheel that's upright and one wheel that's sideways.
Then that's like a
so then it like turns its
type
so
of
it's
conveyor belt type thing.
I'm still firmly with doors. If we practically look at the examples and don't get weird stuff,
Are you considering like rent a tire weird? Because that's technically there's wheels in there.
Yeah, I don't think rent a tire is enough to bump it. Like if we're looking globally, it's still not going to be really.
But then there's like rent a tire, Sam's, the tire place Al worked at.
Every single one of those buildings has wheels in it and doors.
Yeah, but there's more.
Fine.
And in this case though, there's more wheels than doors in that building.
Do you think? You know how like shipping containers have those doors?
Yes.
Are those doors?
Yes, because those are doors.
It's easy to say that, but then people will say no.
No, a shipping container has doors. That's how you open and enter.
But a shipping container's doors function more like a cabinet, if you really think about it.
And a cabinet have doors.
Okay. What? I am not considering cabinets as doors.
Cabinets, I'm telling you, cabinets have doors.
Right now, even though I think doors are more, I'm not considering cabinets as doors.
Cabinets have doors. I'll tell you that right now.
Even if door is in the name.
I've had people come to Lowe's and be like, I need to change out my cabinet door. And I tell them, go to aisle 16.
You're not going in. The name doesn't matter. You're not going into a room when you open a cabinet.
But you're not
it's
going
a storage device.
Okay, but there's still a door. You still can enter your hand through the
But if
door.
we say that the door is supposed to get you from one room to another,
that's your definition. But I'm telling you that definition is weird.
Cabinets don't make any sense.
Yeah, by your definition, but by the actual definition, because it's called a cabinet door, it's a door.
So what is your definition of a door?
A door, anything that opens, it lets you like anything that holds. What's what I'm looking for?
The door doesn't hold anything.
It doesn't hold anything. About like I'm trying to say like it's a capacity where you can enter in.
Something that allows you into a thing.
Yeah, which arm enters. An arm enters a cabinet.
So what about a foot?
You can put a foot in a cabinet. It's the same
Are
thing.
Your
a door's
shoes
a door.
Doors?
No, because it opens.
Why not? They're storing your feet, and they have.
That's why I didn't. That's why I took out store.
Are gloves not doors?
No.
But they're allowing your
open
arm.
and close, and you put your arm in it.
How
do you close a? No one closes a glove because then it's not a glove.
Close the hole.
It's just a uterus from a freaking cow. What are they called?
What is wrong with you? It's a uterus.
Yeah, bro. What do you mean?
Your definition
is a butthole a door?
So easy to poke holes in. Yes, by your definition,
it's not. No, it's different.
You said something you can put your hand into.
Because I'm trying to argue the cabinet thing.
Okay. All you really have to say, I'll give you the answer. All you really have to say is it's a thing which inhibits someone from putting. It's like it's a thing.
You see why I'm struggling as well?
Well, okay. I'm trying to make it as technical as possible so that you can't poke holes into it.
We'll see.
It's a sheet of something on hinges.
What about gates?
Opens and closes. They do too. That opens and closes.
Mm-hmm.
Certain gates are like I'm making hand motions, but like they open. And they roll on like a track or something, right? Sure. They're not opening on a hinge, so those don't count as doors. But these are like something on a hinge with an object on it which swings that allows you to enter and exit a space.
I'm curious if you can like.
That's
Google,
the best definition for your door. That is what includes cabinets.
According to Oxford Languages and Dictionary, it says
the Brits
what
are
is
the
a door?
ones that started this argument.
Actually, his name was Richard Nixon or some stupid thing like that.
Yeah, but he was saying I had a thing with me and my mates.
Oh, that's probably true. A definition of a door is a hinged, sliding, or revolving barrier at the entrance to a building, room, or vehicle, or in framework of a cupboard.
Okay, so
a doorway.
Cupboard means that cabinets are included.
Used to refer to a distance from one building to another.
Vehicle means that cars are included. Revolving barrier, elevators are okay. And
framework of a
those
cupboard.
Spinning doors are okay in hotels. And sliding, so then the gate that I mentioned earlier, that's okay too. So doors would win easy, man.
Framework of a cupboard.
The framework of a cupboard is this thing.
Which is a cabinet.
A cabinet. So then Google a wheel. And also make sure it's Oxford, whatever.
Definition of a wheel is the second thing that pops up. Bro, I don't even have to look into it.
The internet... we're in a scary time.
A circular object that revolves on an axle and is fixed below a vehicle or other objects enable it to move easily over the ground.
Revolves on an axle or rotates on an axle?
It says revolves.
But it's not revolves. 2,
a machine or structure having a wheel that is central apart. No, that's different. Verb, push or pull a vehicle with wheels. 2, of a bird or a craft flying. No, that's just stupid. A bird.
Is it Oxford that you're looking at?
Yeah, same thing. Oxford.
A circular object that revolves on an axle and is fixed below a vehicle
or other object.
That's the worst part. To enable it to move easily on the ground. So it has to be a circular thing that rolls that allows things to move.
So now I'm going to look at images and see if there's anything stupid on here. Okay, so rims, cars, wheels, spin wheels.
Yeah.
They're counting the driving wheel.
Driving wheels are technically say they're wheels, but they're not.
A Ferris wheel.
Yeah, Ferris wheel. If Ferris wheel counts, then the elevator stuff and the bearings and all that stuff have to count too.
Yeah.
The things that don't move themselves.
What is this? A spinning wheel? What's
that's
spinning
a
wheel?
film.
Clothing.
Oh no, yeah, that's for the sewing.
I guess that's a wheel, which would then also argue that bearings and like gears work. I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
And conveyor pulleys and all that mumbo jumbo. What else is there? Anything stupid that we?
Yeah, there's
color wheels.
Bruh, that's just a circle.
Those are people are just
color
stupid.
circle.
So does a wheel have to be 3D then?
Yeah, I think doors also have to be 3D, Ibrahim. So I think we're okay in that department.
No, but the only reason I say that is because of the whole color wheel thing. That's what I brought it up.
Absolutely not, man.
Absolutely. And no way am I convinced that it has to be 2D. But I'm just saying, for anyone who was sitting at home wondering,
but that also means that caps and lids are also wheels.
No, because there's no access to a wheel. No access to a cap.
Axle
to a cap.
You could put it on an axle.
I mean, I guess, but then is it considered a cap?
I mean, you could say that the thing that it's screwed onto is the axle.
Technically, yes. But then, but then as soon as you take a cap, you puncture a hole in it to make it to put on an axle or whatever, and then spin it on a fake little DIY car. Is it considered a cap still, or is it considered a wheel?
It's a wheel cap, cabinet door.
Then wheels would win.
No, I don't think so. I still think doors would win.
I personally think wheels would win just
because
the
extended definition
all
from
of this
Oxford,
happens.
you can frame this answer. So according to Oxford, I think doors would win because the sliding and the revolving door, that means that every planar rectangle that rotates, revolves, or spins is a door. Essentially.
You're going to have to expand that part a little bit.
Any rectangular shape, not even flat shaped
So is your laptop a door?
It's on a hinge.
Uh-huh.
And it opens.
Uh-huh.
What was the other part of that definition? Did it specify that it has to be within rooms? Entrance to a building, room, or vehicle. Or in the framework of a cupboard. Yeah, no, my laptop wouldn't count because it's not entering anything.
So then it can't be a flat thing that just opens and closes.
But look at how many cabinets are here, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in just one room.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Into one room.
But then you also have to think about a garage door as a door. But there's also conveyor little wheels on it to open a garage door. They're 6 for one door, for example.
This is hard.
I think this is why everyone was like, "Oh my god, bro, let's actually have a debate." It's a black dress. It's not yellow and white, bro. What do you mean?
I don't know. I still kind of think doors would win. I don't know.
Because then you have to also say the whole Hot Wheels thing and skateboards and bicycles and the mail doors are doors.
Right.
Shoot, what else is there?
All right, like imagine going to the post office. Every single one of those
It's a
slits
little,
in the wall
yeah,
is
it's a door.
Do you think drawers would count as doors? They slide, they open.
Cupboard, I guess.
I don't. Cupboard is a very British thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you can refer to a drawer as a cupboard.
Let me Google it. But I think there's also like 6 times of wheels for those, or at least
Yes,
2
there
wheels
are
for
also
every.
bearings for those.
There's
Or
2
not
wheels for
bearings.
every
Spinny things.
drawer. Is a drawer
Would a washer be a wheel?
a washer? Oh.
If a washer is a wheel, doors lose.
I think so.
There's washers in everything.
Is a drawer? How do you spell drawer?
DRAWER.
Drawer
Yeah.
is a drawer.
Yeah.
I love English. A door. Let me see. I love English. Technically, a drawer is not a door. A door is a flat object used to open or shut a room, cabinet, automobile, etc.
Okay.
Moreover, doors have hinges and they swing open. On the other hand, drawers are hollow storage structures that have wheels of the sort that slide open horizontally.
Yeah. So because the drawer is like a concave object,
Yeah.
it's not a flat thing that opens to another thing.
Yeah. So I guess, and then for every drawer, let's just say there's like 2 wheels on there.
How many wheels do you think are in a door handle? Because
There's
every
more
lock,
gears.
A
Is it
lock has a
gears?
lot of circle things.
Are gears wheels?
I think that'll also break it because if gears are wheels, then
Are gears wheels?
gears are technically just wheels with spokes on the outside.
Okay, you're literally just stating a Mars senior quote. Literally, I think so. Gears are wheels with teeth and slot together.
Yeah.
Wheels
so
win.
Wheels win.
Wheels
if
win.
gears are part of the argument, because there's gears in every
Little
door
thing.
handle, every lots of hinge. I mean, not lots, but certain hinge types.
Yeah.
Every drawer, every car has like 1,000 freaking gears in it. You know, in the gear
Airplanes
train.
have probably like 9 times that amount.
Motors, my computer, right? So my computer's not a door, but it can have gears, which make them have wheels in it. So then I guess wheels would win in that case, dude. Honestly, it took that one fact, bro. Freaking F Hot Wheels, bro. No one asked. It's just about the gears or not.
We just have to Google what each one is labeled as.
It's honestly just like the law of big numbers. You can argue all the small stuff, but it doesn't matter. You should argue the ones that are more effective, the big numbers, and gears are in everything.
Yeah.
So why freaking ask about Hot Wheels?
Because like you still have to consider those as well.
Even the tracks for Hot Wheels also have gears and all that stuff in them. So Hot Wheels are like really killing it in the
Hot Wheels
in the wheels
carried
department.
this whole argument.
Yeah,
they're like let's stop this argument. Let me just input my name here.
Well, I guess that's settled. Besides that,
Damn. Okay.
I guess recently we've been on spring break, so
Welcome back, spring breakers, or hello, spring breakers, or
this is our second college spring break, but like I guess our first real one because last year was even more like COVID, like no one going out and stuff.
2 years ago was COVID, and that was just at the start of our spring break in high school.
Oh, that's so funny. We're all the way back. I didn't even think about it.
Like, do you remember the day we went off to spring break, quote
I
unquote?
remember it so vividly.
Like, it was because me, my brother, and some friends went camping at Big Bend, and I saw that like we had I think like we got an email or something that like a text that says like, oh, we're gonna have an extra like 3 days. We'll come back on Wednesday instead of Monday. And we're like, heck yeah, bro, we'll extend our little camping trip by like 2 days. Mm-hmm. And then by the time it got to like Tuesday, they're like 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks became 9 months. And then we back.
Never left the forest.
Like, it was really weird because we got back. Mom's like, Killa, don't you have school tomorrow? I'm like, no, bro. Did you see the email?
Yo, about that. Yeah, I remember it so vivid. Like, it's so, like, such a meme with what happened that, like, our graduating class's t-shirt, like, one of the t-shirts for our school was, like Kings
Champions,
of Senior Ditch Day.
Yeah, what was
and
it? Like,
spring break, longest spring break.
Champion for longest ditch day or something like that, yeah.
Because we just dipped.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah,
we had a weird, like, that week or two.
It was such a...
We had a death in the school, in our grade. We had a, like, field trip to go on. And then we had COVID.
And then, like, we had robotics. So, like, a lot of robotics people, we were, like, all bustling.
Yeah.
During the tournaments and everything. It was a lot.
It was weird.
And now we're back.
I remember the field trip we went on, kind of, was, like, in your little groups, because our high school was working by groups. And the group my group, we went on like to the downtown city, like we went to the city, we went to downtown, all that stuff, and it was a gloomy day. So only time I think of like that little week. Granted, I went to Big Bend like after the whole trip, but like that week, I just vividly remember gloomy field trip day.
Yeah, for me, we went to a couple of the STEAM centers around the city because that was our project. We were trying to emulate a STEAM center. So all I remember is like going to all these places, seeing all their cool stuff that's way cooler than our stuff, and then like going to get lunch with my team later, and then all of the stuff unraveling, and then like the weird days that came afterward, and then friendship bracelets for some weird reason.
Friendship bracelets.
You remember when we got back to school, we all had to make friendship bracelets.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, the little like yarn thingy. Yeah.
And I learned how to braid. That was crazy. I never knew how to braid.
Yeah. I remember me and like Sienna would like sit like FaceTime at night, and then she'd be making like a really like bougie looking one. I'm struggling. I'm like, how do I do this?
They're so irritating. Honestly, people who do that, they're kings because they're queens, because they like, you gotta have like the craziest finger dexterity to like manage the threads at the like multiples and keep going quickly and make sure it's tight the entire time.
The one I was doing the reason I kept messing up was because like you would braid it and then move it up, like move the string up. I was like, oh, you're just moving the string. So I would just kind of like throw it to the right or whatever. It didn't really matter to me. And it wasn't getting knotted up or anything. It was just like I was moving the string to the right instead. And I was talking to Sienna. I was like, hey, it's not working. And she goes, okay, show me how you're doing it. And I did it. And she goes, remove the string up. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we're just moving the string. She goes, no, move the string up. It'll tighten the braid. I'm like, oh, okay. See, that makes a lot more sense.
I still did not understand that.
Yeah, no,
I would have the floppiest looking braided stuff.
I actually got really good at it. I was like, hell yeah. And then we went spring break, and then we got stuck in the world, and now we're here. And now
we're back.
Today's like kind of the beginning of spring break. Everyone's at like Mexico getting lit and like getting drunk, and Colorado, and like everyone's just back out to living.
I forget that for everyone else, this is the beginning of spring break. As of recording this, I think March 14th. It's the beginning of spring break, but for us, it's the first day of school, back to school. Yeah, back to school.
Our college has the spring break a week before the actual spring break because they're stupid.
Yeah.
And so we're back, but everyone's now going. Like I've seen like the Instagram pictures that are like, yeah, I'm in France, or I'm skiing in Colorado, or I'm in Mexico getting lit, and then St. Patty's Day is coming up, so we're all wearing green and partying at like A&M, and I'm like, what?
No. I'm out here studying for my calculus exam.
Yeah, like I got 2 exams this week. I kind of want to die.
Feeling great.
Yeah, I went to class. The professor kind of pissed me off, and I forgot we didn't have an exam today. I thought I had 2 exams today, and then I walked into class.
That would have sucked.
And no, like I knew I was preparing for 2 exams today. We didn't have any exams today. And I was like, wow, so I stressed last night for no reason. Okay, cool. I could have been playing Valorant the whole time. Anyway.
See, spring break for me has always, or like most school breaks, specifically spring break, it's that weird one in the middle where you really are just like trying to recuperate as much as possible from like the stress of being in school and stuff. So every year, but this year in particular, it was just like relax, like just try to chill.
What was really weird for me was that like every now and then I would think, oh, I have homework to do. I should go do the homework. And then I would remember my law professor would be like, it's actually illegal for anyone to give you guys homework during spring break. And that would come back in my head. I'm like, I don't have homework to do this week.
That's crazy. Why is it illegal?
Because it's a break. And they're not allowed to give you homework on break or something. And so I was like, hell yeah, I don't have homework. And so today in math, some kid was like, he was out talking to another girl and he was like, did you do the homework? Or like, did you finish all the homework? I was like, wait, we have homework? That's why I don't know if you saw when I first started Googling things, I had Pearson's open to see if I had homework.
Having a mini panic attack.
Yeah, I was like, wait, did we have homework? Clap. Because it closes at the beginning of our class. And I went to class, and 3 minutes in, because the professor was late, the kid was like, oh, did you finish all the homework? And I overheard that, I'm like, wait, hold on, we have homework, hold on.
I think the one thing that like messed me up during spring break though is that my sleep schedule just got absolutely effed.
Yeah, last night I fell asleep at 7 a.m. I had to wake up at like 9. It was great.
I'm honestly feeling the effects of whatchamacallit. This is it, man. This is it.
This is where you fall off.
What's it called?
L plus ratio.
When you go to sleep.
Sleep deprivation?
Exhaustion, bro. Oh man, my brain is just so much slower.
Oh, and we had daylight savings time.
And
so that messes up everything.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I like got in my car and I was like, oh, maybe I just woke up early. I have so much time to get to my class. And then I was like, wait a second.
Wait, don't.
Something's not right here.
Whenever daylight savings time happened, I was awake, and because I sleep very late. And I was walking my house, and everyone was still awake. I'm like, why is everyone still awake? Isn't it like... I looked at my phone, I was like, it's like 4 a.m. Why is everyone... we went up an hour. Everyone's going to sleep right now. It's actually 3, realistically. So that's why everyone's still awake in his house.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, I thought I was the only one to wake up 4 a.m. Okay, that's weird.
I think we can do a whole episode on sleep.
Yeah.
Because it is rough out here, y'all. But I think... I don't know. I used to be really good. Like, I used to have a solid sleep schedule, and I used to, like, not waver from it. But ever since, like, senior year of high school, bro, I've been playing it fast and loose with the boys at night.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. And now I can't get the reins back on it. Every time I have time, and I'm like, I'll sleep early. I sit in my bed for 5 hours.
No, look, you same, 100%.
Cry myself to sleep. And then every time I'm like, I really want to sleep. I'm so tired. It's the only time in a long time I'll be able to play video games or hang out with my friends or hang out with someone else or talk or watch a show. And I'm like, oh, why do I can't sacrifice everything. What can I do? So that was like my entire break. I was basically like, I would sleep till like 2 or 3 and I'd wake up and I'd be like, man, the day was short. And then by the time the nighttime rolls out and I'm like still energetic, I'm like, I want to do stuff, but I'm like, I should go to sleep. I don't. And then I play a lot of games and talk and do a lot of stuff. And then it's like 4 a.m. and I'm like, I need to go to sleep. Yeah. And I sleep till 2. And again, it just kept going.
Remember that one day we went and hung out and then we were like, yeah, let's go home and play Valorant, all of us together and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, for sure. So I walk home and my computer's old, so it needs a little bit of time to boot up. So I get into I go to my room, I open up my computer, let it boot up. And I'm like, okay, while it's booting up, I'm going to go change, use the bathroom, and then I'll come back. I go and do all that stuff. I come back, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's start the game. But it's kind of getting late. I probably need to go to sleep, right? So I sat on my bed. I was trying to see, like, okay, who's going to play, blah, blah, blah. I ended up on TikTok. I was like, yeah, okay, maybe I should not play today. Like, because it's, what was it, like, Friday or Saturday we met up or something? And I was like, maybe we should... Maybe we should, like, just go back because we have to fix our sleep schedule. We have to get up early on Monday.
Right.
Okay, for sure. 4 hours later, I didn't play Valorant. I'm still on my phone. The lights are still on. I'm still awake. And I'm like, wow, I'm a genius. Okay, cool. And I ended up sleeping very late that night.
Yeah. Do you ever, like, sit on your bed and it's either, like, cold enough or warm enough that you feel like there's hands that come out?
We're just like, come.
They're like hugging
Come,
you, and
let's
sleep. Just lay down. I've literally I've sat there and I'm just like, I am not going to sleep. And then my back is like leaning for me, and I'm like, what's going on?
Why am I going to sleep?
And I just like rest my head in my. I saw this meme, and it was so accurate. I'll try to pull it up. I don't know if audio listeners it'll be the same, but it was basically a picture, and it was like what your bed is like before you go to sleep. And then what your bed is like while you're trying to get out of sleep. And
true.
Here. So it's like a picture of like a rusty old board for when you're trying to go to sleep, and then when you it's like heavenly, like
it's amazing memory foam
when you're waking up. Honestly, I feel that, bro.
That's 100% true.
I feel like in like movies and stuff when like the hero is like having this crisis moment and all these voices are telling him or something, do this, do that. That's how I feel when I'm sleeping, bro.
Don't do it. I have to do it. Don't do it. I have to do it.
I'm like, I want to go to sleep. I'm in heaven right now. And then like I hear my dead whatever relative, and they're like, don't do it. It's not you. You're better than this.
You were supposed to save us from the Sith, not join them.
With great power and all that. You were the chosen one.
No, honestly, same, because my desk, like, I have put a bunch of stuff on there, so I don't use it as much. So ever since, like, high school, I used to do, like, all the laptop work and everything on my bed. So I got really used to sitting on my bed and doing work on my phone, on my laptop. And so it's gotten to the point where if I sit on my bed and I'll do something for over 5 minutes, there's a very high possibility. I'll sit crisscross applesauce first, right? And then I'm like, my legs hurt. Let me stretch up. Let me flatten out my legs, straighten them out.
Let me get comfortable.
Maybe my brain is like lying to me, and they're like, your legs actually don't hurt. We're just gonna tell you it hurts, so you can like open them up and get a little more relaxed.
Maybe, bro.
And then very soon, my laptop's closed on the side, and I'm on my phone. And then very soon, I'm on my left, like I'm on my side, about to fall asleep on my teddy bear, and then I'm knocked out until 7 p.m. And my brother and my mom are always like, it's because you're sitting on your bed. It's because you're sitting on your bed. You know, you're going to fall asleep if you're sitting on your bed, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you're all wrong, guys. It somehow happened.
You're in your bed sheets. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I just got cold. The biggest excuse I give my family is like, I just got cold. The AC is on.
Dude, but that is it, though. Like, whenever I get cold, I get the sleepiest.
True.
When I'm like normal warm, when you're like body temperature warm, I get really uncomfortable because like everything feels like
icky
numb.
And like you're stuck in like
yeah. But when I'm like lightly cold and there's like a temperature contrast between my bed and my thing, dude.
That's why hotels. That's why hotels like they'll make the room cold, and then the type of fabric they have for like bed sheets and stuff like that is that type of thing where it like picks up the cold really well. So as soon as you sit on it and like fall slowly, you're just like, damn, okay, I'll unpack later, and I just crash.
Oh yeah, dude.
And it's like it's that cold memory foam, like kind of like type of thing, and the whole there's like science behind it. It's like it's because they use like white sheets also adds on to what getting you sleepy, and how color like makes you sleepy and whatnot.
There's probably so many layers, bro. There's probably so many layers. I used to think that hotels were innocent, and then I watched this documentary or something about like a bunch of different like stuff about hotels, and one of them was like, oh yeah, they like do this with your pillow, and then like
oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. They like yeah, I remember.
It makes you feel really comfortable. It's like, you know, like targeted marketing and ads and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that, except it's nice. It's just supposed to make you feel better. It's like, oh yeah, you want to go to sleep?
Go for it.
Let's hypnotize you into sleep.
You're going to sleep.
Let's hypnotize you into having a better vacation.
It's 70 degrees in this room and you're cold. Yeah. It's that type of thing.
But other than that, I didn't really get around to too much. I just hung around with some friends, met up some family in spring break. Basically, stayed at home most of it, played a lot of games.
I did another lab study by myself this time. It was kind of fun.
Yes.
It was lit.
I still haven't done that.
I drove home at 2 a.m. Let me tell you, for some reason, driving home at 2 a.m. after being awake for 2 days, it was the coolest thing on earth. And like, it was so chill and the weather was perfect. And it was night and the highway was almost empty. And I was just cruising on 70. Usually I'm like speeding at night, but like I was like, dude, the music's hitting. My windows were down. My arms were freshly shaved because that's where they put the cream.
It was a frosty
and I was just like,
outside.
I was just vibing, bro. I was like, I just got a fat check. I have a pizza in my back because they gave me extra pizza to take home. And I was like, I'm just gonna chill going home.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Extra pizza.
Yeah, no, last time, like this time and last time, they bought pizza for us because after dinner people get hungry and like you don't leave until like 2 a.m. or something. Mm-hmm. And dinner comes at like 6 or 7, and so they'll come to your room. They're like, "Hey, do you want pizza?" Okay, they'll go to the next room. Do you want pizza? And so they'll order pizza. And when you see it, it's like 17 boxes of pizza just sitting on a counter. Like, yeah, come grab as many slices as you want, and like the drinks are all there and everything. And at the very end of the night, when everyone's leaving, they're like, "Hey, anybody want pizza to take home? We don't want to keep any of this, and we also don't want to throw it away. Anyone want it? You? Okay, come take some." So every single time I've gotten pizza.
That kind of reminds me of like when we did our police internship. Yeah. And they would like overbuy snacks, and then at the end of the night they just be like, "Hey, we got a bunch of Twinkies left over. Anybody want?"
Dude, the snacks there, I'm telling you, if there's anything else in the world, the snacks they provide there are so like. This was it this time. I'm showing them a video of all the snacks. They just stacked the fridge there with like pre-made sandwiches, puddings, grapes, everything you need in life. Dude, Hot Pockets.
Insane. That's like
where's the other one?
That's like
this was the last time they had it there. It's the same thing. They had like Hot Pockets and like frozen pizzas and like a microwave. They had hot chocolate and coffee and like anything you can think of.
That's like the most goated pantry ever, dude.
And then all of that, and then they also like bring dinner for you. So at one point they had like country fried steak and mashed potatoes with garlic bread inside of like veggies and like one of those like little to-go boxes.
Whoa.
And they're like, yeah, if you want another one, we got extra. Go get another one. My idiot is like walking up. He's like, can I get another country fried steak, please?
Do you have any extra steak?
I came late to the thing, and one of the girls, like, she's really nice. I guess she was new. She put like a name on one of the boxes. Like she put like a little sticky note. It was like Ibrahim. And so when I got there, she goes, yeah, after you get settled and everything, there's a box with your name for your lunch in the fridge. I'm like, huh? She goes, yeah, I put a little sticky note. I know you're a little late today. That's completely fine. We're prepared for late people, and we just put a little sticky note with your name on it. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. I was like, what is she talking about? I walk in, I open the fridge, and a bright yellow sticky note on a little like to-go box with like a sandwich in there. They're like, Ibrahim with a smiley face, and I'm like, bro, She right here just saved my life, bro. She's just this amazing, most amazing person on earth, and she deserves all the happiness in the world.
A girl worth fighting for.
Honestly, true. And one of the girls over there was trying to convince me to start watching a new Death Note.
Oh, is it that same anime one from last time?
Yeah, the same one who watched Jujutsu Kaisen. She remembered, bro.
That's sick.
She remembered.
That's sick.
Because like they were like putting on the cream on my arm, and she goes, "So, did you finish Jujutsu Kaisen?" I'm like, "Good morning to you too." Hell yeah, I did. She goes, "Oh, so what'd you think about it?" And I was sitting there talking to her, and the other nurse there, she was like, What the hell are y'all talking about? We're like, oh, we're talking about anime. You don't get it, okay? Just go to sit on the side, dude. You don't understand. And she was like, okay, start Death Note this time.
We're finna watch that this weekend.
I'm excited. Oh, we did also watch Batman.
Yeah, oh my god. I was so disappointed, bro.
You forgot.
I watched it 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me clarify. Again, slow brain. No, I loved the movie. I was disappointed with Ibrahim's love of the movie.
Yeah.
But I loved the movie. I thought it was amazing.
You and Thomas were kind of disappointed in what, like I was saying, before we watched and after we watched.
Listen, before we watched it, that 100% makes sense. You didn't know what it was about. The trailers were kind of blah, and it's been a long time since we've had a good Batman movie.
Sure.
Right? We had Batfleck, and that was
weird.
You know? But after you watch this cinema masterpiece, right?
Cinema masterpiece.
I had people who had not even known what Batman was be like, oh my god, this movie was amazing. And you just sat there and you're like,
yeah.
7.
Refuse. Yeah. That's they got an 85 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Which I think was what I guessed last time, or like 70 or something like that. That's what I guessed.
You said something along the lines of like 76.
Yeah, something like that. Pretty close.
Because I remember I was like, I'll round it out with a quarter 75.
Yeah.
On the lowest.
But listen, your argument while we were at BJ's and we were having this discussion was, you and Thomas both said this. I don't know if it was like your main argument or not, but you also said it's because, what's his name, Robert Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson.
Sure. Was from Twilight, and I watched Twilight, and like, that'll mess up the image of Batman. But to be fair, majority of Batman, he had his face covered, so it wasn't even like it was him.
That's true.
So, I'm saying...
You kept saying he was emo, which I can understand why, yes. But it supports that argument, because if you think about Edward, all you think about is emo vampire guy. Yeah. And honestly, he wasn't really emo as much as he was depressed. It's just that because the eye makeup...
It was that weird balance of like, I'm depressed and I want to like shoot myself, but I'm also like going to change the whole world because my father told me to. Green Arrow type flick.
I think it was more just because he was wearing that eyeshadow for his mask that he looked like a goth, but he didn't have any other goth things.
But it was very gothic. You're telling me that house, the little scene where like Alfred is sitting there, he's doing the
paperwork.
Before like the whole spoilers.
I know. They made Wayne Manor very gothic.
It looked very gothic.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But that's just one room.
In my head, like, sure, it's one room, but like in my head, whenever like that scene came up, I was like, "You telling me that's where the dining table is? It's a circle in the middle of the freaking like Notre Dame. What are you talking about?"
That's a good comparison, actually.
It is. It's 100% Notre Dame.
And then the Notre Dame, actually.
Okay, Mr. Baguette.
Notre Dame.
Okay, Mr. Baguette. Anyway.
And the rest of the city, if New York City was like your table in middle school, Gotham City is the gum underneath your table.
100%.
And it was disgusting. But it was good. It was meant to sell the point that the infrastructure of the city was like terrible to begin with, and the corruption and all that stuff.
Also, I was very surprised that they made Riddler the main villain.
I love that, because they took a guy who is not like a blockbuster big screen villain, but they gave him something that made him compelling as a person. Like that when we were doing our superhero smasher pass and we were talking about Bane, and I was telling you about the old Batman movies, right? Those were nuts. But part of the reason the Riddler was also in that movie, and it was weird. He was played by Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And it was like he was just some random dude with riddles. Like that was the only time we ever seen him. Just some random dude with riddles.
But I was watching Gotham. That's all I could picture whenever like.
The Gotham Riddler was good though.
Gotham Riddler was good. Guy. He was good. Like I vibed with him. What was his name? Shoot, what's his name? It starts with an E.
His name is Edward Nash, or Edward Nashon.
No, there's a different one in Gotham. They kept calling him something. It was something with an E.
Edward Nigma.
Yeah.
Enigma
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Enigma was like that's the
That's the whole
That's
thing
the
behind
joke
it, yeah.
about his name.
I kept wanting to say eczema for some reason.
He has a lot of different names in the comics, but
Yeah.
like that's why that thing with the passport or like his ID was very cool because that is another alias that he has.
Yeah.
Jack Johnson, John Jack or Jack John or something.
I like that scene for the sole reason that he was able to do the whole the question mark in the coffee. I was like, that's so fake, but it was so cool at the same time.
I like how they did it because they didn't show him draw it, but you could see him holding the Q-tip that he used to draw it into the milk, and I was like, wow, that's
pop off, Queen.
I think something I was telling Thomas is I think this is the most cinematic Batman movie ever.
Yeah.
This movie had the most like artistic cinematography of any Batman movie I've ever seen ever, and it was such a visual treat.
Also, the ending was weird. Like the whole like wall thing was just a weird little twist on the end. The ocean wall thing was a weird twist. I was not expecting that. You know, every Batman movie needs an explosion or two.
That is very true.
But I never once expected it to be like, because what in the Dark Knight they blew up
the hospital.
They blew up a hospital, and then
in the Dark Knight Rises they blew up the bridges.
They blew up the bridges
and the stadium.
No, when she died in the Dark Knight, where was she?
Oh, that was just building. Some random.
Whatever, sure. Some like random building. They had Harvey Dent in one, and the chick in the other one.
And then in Batman Begins, there was the pipes that were exploding.
Yeah, but a whole city wall to where the whole city was like drowned was a very weird move.
It was the northern part of the city, I'm pretty sure, but
maybe yeah. But then the funniest thing on earth was when he was carrying, at least in my head, was when he was carrying the girl at the very end of the movie, and they're talking like, you know, vengeance, blah blah blah, on top of the little stadium roof, and he goes and he puts the girl down on the stretcher so like the National Guards can take her. The National Guard just said, they're like, yeah, this is normal.
No, that was actually something I noticed in the movie. I was like, this is the most Batman has actually physically been around other people that aren't the main character.
They had ice in there to take Falcone.
That wasn't ice.
No, I literally remember talking to Mar. I'm like, why is there ice in there? He laughed. He was like, why is there ice in there? Why is there ice in there?
No, I don't think that was ice. I think
no, it was ice. It was ICE.
Why would it be ice?
Because it was FBI, and right next to it said ICE on the thing.
Why would it be ice?
That's what I asked.
I mean, that's still
unless
funny.
Falcone is like, I don't know, Hispanic or something.
I'll check it again, but I don't think it was ice.
I'm pretty sure it was because I literally leaned into him. I was like, "Why is there ice there?" And he goes, "Haha, I don't know."
But like the entire movie, he walked through a club. He was like next to police officers that weren't Jim Gordon. He would like walk in crowds. He was carrying all those people through the evacuation, right? Like he was next to people. In all the other Batman movies, he's like this mysterious figure that does not actually go around people, just around the bad guys. In this movie, he was like a real person. And I really liked it. It was an interesting take on Batman's presence, right? Yeah. Usually Batman's like, I got a GTFO as fast as possible. Like I'm just trying.
He would walk through the whole like murder scene. Everyone would be there. And
and people had to look at him and be uncomfortable by him, and he was also uncomfortable.
The context thing was weird.
I
had to remember because I would forget.
You know the funny thing? Every single time I've seen this movie, the little scene right after the first investigation, like first crime scene where he talks about the contacts and then like it shows him put it in his eye and stuff. I slept through all of them. Every single time, whenever I was sleeping,
you didn't miss much.
The sleep would take me for that exact scene, and then I'd wake up right after.
You didn't miss much. It's just him being depressed and saying, "I went through so much trauma. I wear contacts and record everything because I have to rewatch it and write it down in my journal."
Well, the monologue at the end was also, I liked it. I usually hate internal monologue.
I'll just say something else.
It's never done really nicely.
The presence thing. So The Dark Knight Rises, I didn't really watch any of like the old, super old ones, but like Dark Knight Rises, and I think the Ben Affleck one, it was more of Batman being created, and then this one's Batman already being created. Batman's already a thing in the city.
I would say like
The Dark Knight, he was still being made and all that mumbo jumbo, and then out of nowhere he shows up, and then they make the little because that's where the Dark Knight begins. Obviously, that's what it's called. Or Batman Begins,
Begins.
I mean.
Batman Begins was the origin story.
Yeah, but this one, he's already a thing. The beginning of the movie is literally him saying, "They fear me because they like I'm always in the shadows." But
isn't it that for Ben Affleck they also like kind of never, there wasn't a movie for him. So
as I was saying it, I was like, was it? I was double questioning myself.
But you're right. No, like this is the first Batman movie in a while where they don't show someone getting shot in an alley and then a little kid, and they still did that for.
And Ben Affleck. Whole like Falcone killed his parents thing.
Oh, that was so cool.
I was like, that's a very interesting twist to put on it. Like
that's how it is in the comics, actually.
I don't know anything about comics.
In the comics, it's like that. It's not literally the people, but it's like ambiguous. It's like it could have just been, the whole thing is like it could just be a random dude, or it could have had a reason. But Batman never really finds out.
Yeah.
There is one guy in the comics. His name is Joe Chill, and he's the actual guy who killed Batman's parents.
Sure.
Every time they reboot him, the guy changes, his circumstances change, so it's still that ambiguous. Like it could have been anybody, or it could have been a hit.
Because in Dark Knight, it was just a random person.
Just a random guy.
And Gotham, it was a random person. The show, I mean.
I think in Gotham, it was actually a person. Like
was it a person?
It was a hit for some reason.
Listen, I watched until the Joker broke out and had like a whole new haircut, and his face was a lot bigger. And suddenly there's a bunch of monsters on loose, and Fish Moody had one weird eyeball.
Oh yeah.
I was like, maybe I should stop. But then I kind of want to go back.
That is literally the same place I stopped watching it.
Yeah.
Too, because Netflix didn't have it at the time.
And they had like weird guys with like tentacles and stuff.
I'm fine with this ending right here.
And then what's her face? Shoot, the girlfriend, the brunette one.
Go Barbara.
Other one. Maybe? I don't know, the brunette one?
I don't know, bro. There's a lot of girlfriends in that show.
The brunette one.
Jim is problematic in that show.
He's one that used to be the coroner. In the beginning of it. She was hot.
I remember, she's the one from Deadpool.
Her, exactly, her.
Yeah, okay. At least we know we're talking about the same person. Yeah, dude, I watched that show in like 8th grade.
When she became like psycho or something.
She also became a bad
I was like,
guy.
honey, no.
No, that was
Y'all
so
were
sad.
being extra,
You're
bro.
right. Nah, man.
Y'all were extra. That was not needed. Y'all messed it up for me. She was hot and now she's psycho. Why is every hot girl gotta be psycho? Damn.
Well, all of Jim's girlfriends tend to end up being psycho. Yeah. Like, every single one of them. Carmine Falcone's daughter.
Yeah.
Right? She was psycho. The Barbara Gordon initially was psycho. Not Barbara, sorry. Whatever. Sarah. I forget her first name. The very first girl.
Yeah.
She becomes psycho. That coroner lady becomes psycho. Everyone's
psycho.
He's such a handsome actor, though. I think that's why I can't be mad at him, because he's so hot.
His acting is weird, though.
But he only is like,
yeah. His face always like upset.
The police, the system.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Bullock, why? That's basically, and then Bullock is just like,
I like the Gotham representation of Penguin over the.
Oh yeah, the guy they cast for Penguin and Riddler were really good. Yeah, and the whole like romance thing with the Riddler and Penguin was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was a weird way of doing it. It was very interesting, but it's like new. I kind of liked it. But the rest of that show, like Poison Ivy being a kid,
the Joker was good. The actors were good. Fish Mooney was a weird.
Bro, do you remember that Poison Ivy was a child, and then all of a sudden she turned into an adult?
Yeah, and I was like, no.
Like there was no time jump. She just turned into an adult.
Yeah, because she was
like gestating in the pod of a plan or some weird.
Then somehow she
thing
grew
with
up.
Her powers.
I was like, no, okay, 100%.
But she was like an innocent child on the inside.
Yeah.
But she was also like really like attractive and like doing like Poison Ivy things, and everybody was like not thinking for a second that she was like 12 5 minutes ago.
100%. And then
that show's so
what's
bad.
her face, Catgirl, whatever her name was.
I will say the tone of the Gotham in the show kind of matches what the movie was a little bit.
A little bit less
compared to the flavor of the Nolan movies.
It's more on that side, but it's like a little less chunky.
Also, I thought the costume was ridiculous when I saw like the trailers, but then when I actually saw it in the movie, I was like, dang, it looks
for
good.
Batman.
For the Batman, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The boots were extra whenever he would walk in the first scene of beating up all those guys. It was ding, ding. I'm like, you can't tell me you disappear in the middle of the night.
That's
here.
What I was
ting,
thinking.
Ting,
I was like, how is he sneaking around? But then also having to like massive.
Yeah, I was like, nah,
boots.
bro.
I think he's doing it on purpose. Which is why it's funny, because you see that, so you're not thinking. But then imagine you're Batman, and you're like, I have to step harder. I'm not making loud enough noises.
The only fighting I liked a lot of the fighting scenes. The only one I actually liked that was like remarkable in my head. Not remarkable. Memorable. English is amazing. Was like the original fighting scene where he fights like the 6 guys.
Really? That's
he punches the guy with a machete and his arm flies out, and he punches him again like 6 other times, breaks his arm, breaks it, punches it 6 times. Right. But all the other ones looked so fake.
No, they look so good. I love them.
Even I can literally I can literally see him pulling punches.
I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is
they would pause, bro. They would pause before he was thrown against the wall. They'd be like, okay, now you're ready. Okay, now I'm going to throw you against the wall.
I think the one thing I will say, though, is I watched the Dark Knight movies before I watched this one. And the fighting in those movies sucks.
It was a lot more dramatic, but it looked...
It's like the slowest, like...
Well, that's how Batman fights, bro. Did you see how he was fighting?
No.
Besides that first, opening train part.
I can't verbally describe it to you in the medium of a podcast, I don't know either, but if you watch it again, like, you'll see, it's like the weirdest, like, clunkiest, like, fighting. It's like, it's realistic in the sense that it looks more...
fighty.
Like real life, but it's not realistic in the sense that, like, not only do people not go down that quickly, but also, like, there's like it looks like when kids just throw their arms around and they like hit each other. That's what it felt like.
But for
this one, it was really like
for me. This
actual,
one looked
like, hits connecting.
It looked like it was gonna be a solid fight, but then it looked like they were just pulling punches the whole time.
Especially that last fight at the end in the stadium. That was so good.
That was weird, bro. He could have at least kicked it. That one scene that pissed me off in that fight at the end was when the smoke goes off and like he's kind of like, you know, he's hiding in the smoke, and I don't know where he lunges and like full body starfish Patrick's the guy sitting across him, and everyone looks at him like, huh? Oh, he jumped on. Oh, now he's attacking us.
No, they started shooting him immediately.
Nah, bro. They took a 5-second pause while he was on the dude.
I think that if a fire hydrant explodes in front of you and you can't see anything, and a guy jumps out in smoke, you can take a 5-second pause. Like,
no, if you see a guy jump in
sense.
And you're on adrenaline
you don't
pumping,
see him. That's the thing.
No, but
you're in smoke. We saw him because we're the camera and we're like looking at it all.
But your adrenaline is pumping like a hyena, and you're telling me you don't hear. At the very end, you're gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna leave you for editing. And the guy in front of you is no longer there. You don't like do something, and then suddenly they all start fighting in the middle of the fog, like it's normal, and they start shooting everything.
Okay, Ibrahim, imagine you're in water, right? You're underwater, and you open your eyes, right? And there's like a little bit of light, right? It's not like super bright outside. You're not gonna see a shark coming at you, bro.
Yes, you can.
No.
You can open your Can you not see underwater?
Can you see underwater?
I can see, but it's like just a little bit blurry. Maybe it's because I'm blind all the time, so I'm adapted to things. But I can see.
No, hold on.
But like I remember sitting on like
are
when
you
we were in the pool,
or farsighted?
The one I can't see far.
You can't see far. Okay, so you're nearsighted.
Sure, I guess that one.
How can you see underwater?
Like I get down there and I can like see like me and my brother used to do this test when we were younger. We'd be like go underwater, open our eyes, and just like put up like numbers and see if we can like see as I go backwards.
For me, underwater, it's slightly clearer than when I'm. I don't know. No, it's really blurry.
It's blurry 100%, but it's like I can see it.
You would not be able to see a thing come at you.
Like I guess I don't know.
I feel for them in that situation.
But you're also comparing water, which actually affects your eyeballs, versus just some smoke with a bunch of lights in the background.
The smoke is from a fire hydrant, which is dense, so it's like a thick plume.
But there's also a lot of lights in a stadium.
I think 5 seconds is okay.
Sure. The 5 seconds is not the issue, but it was kind of funny in my head that they all paused, looked at him, getting beaten up, but that like was so sick, brain-faced.
Bro, when he grabbed that guy and like swung around the pole, came up, and he like used his body to trip two people, popped up, punched that guy in the face.
That was the fakest. I was like, y'all are some...
that was so cool.
Y'all some acrobatic, Zendaya, A Million Dreams looking thing.
When he walked into the iceberg lounge... Oh, did we say spoilers? I think
we said at the very beginning,
people should have known. Okay,
should have known.
When he walked into the iceberg lounge and he grappled that guy in the knee and then used him as like a pulley.
I was like, okay, that's not bad.
Sick, that dude, and then he took that guy's bat and freaking slapped him in the face with it. Oh, the one thing I think I mentioned on another episode I don't remember that I really did like is Robert Pattinson. He said, I will not take any steroids for this movie.
Wow.
And I don't know if people know this, but a lot of Marvel actors take steroids.
Probably.
And he was like, I know that that's an industry thing for the role, but I will not do that. So you can tell. Like, he doesn't look like the most ripped, dude ever. But it's nice, though. Like, it's nice seeing a Batman that isn't, like, freaking marshmallows in the suit. So when he was doing all the fighting, I was like, okay, they choreographed it in a way where it makes sense. He's not, like, a big guy. He has to, like... It's like Daredevil. Do you remember Daredevil?
Yeah.
It was very similar to the way Daredevil fights, where it's like you have to actually like hit them in the right places, or else like you're not just gonna smack. Like in The Dark Knight, Christian Bale would just literally like a douche, guy will fall. Right? Bane will literally just slap someone in the face, guy will fall.
Okay, but Bane is also like, So I would understand that.
He's a realistic Bane, so he's not like
the
chemical one.
Yeah.
He's just strong. So like, I guess certain Russian people have knocked people out with slaps. Yeah. So maybe
you've never seen a slap contest that are like people have to hold them on their fall.
Yeah, but he straight up picked up a guy with his one hand by the jaws, and then broke his neck.
Yeah, bro, I can do that. It's easy.
That does not make sense.
But
it was cool though. It was a sick scene.
100%. The twins at the lounge.
Twins at
the bodyguards,
dude, the ones that were like Matt Damon ripoffs, bro. They were so
funny.
I
was like,
I love those guys.
This, bro. They're like,
they were so funny.
Never heard of them. Close the door. Opens back the door. He wants to meet the penguin. Who's the penguin? I don't know who the penguin is. You know who the penguin is?
Never heard of him.
I was like,
and I just kept getting beat up.
I was like, that's just
every
extra,
single person beat on them, bro.
And then in the middle of a club, they start using like shotguns and like shooting everyone, and everyone's still dancing. Like, oh my god, yes, Becky,
bro. If you were in that club, you'd be dancing too, bro.
If I heard gunshots,
the music was kind of killer, bro. It was like,
if I heard gunshots.
Dude, sometimes you don't know whether the gunshots are part of the beat.
I hear shots. What do you hear, man?
Somebody said shots.
Shots.
Someone's like, shots?
Okay, for sure.
Bring them over. I'll have all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. The movie was not bad. I'd watch it again. Not pay for it.
I have watched it again.
I would not pay for it to watch it again, but I'd watch it again if I wanted to. But I was like, okay. Also, like, I wanted more Joker in there. I was kind of disappointed there was no Joker.
I'm so glad there wasn't any Joker.
I like the Joker.
So. There needs to be a good Batman movie that doesn't have the Joker in it.
But then it's not Batman.
That's just not true.
I mean, it's not at all, but like,
But you're right. Well, I mean, the next one, that's kind of what they were.
Are they going to have another one?
Oh, absolutely. Ibrahim, usually when movies make that much money off of their first couple days in the box office, they should not make another one. They shouldn't. But the companies immediately are like, make a sequel.
Squid Games.
Make a sequel. So... like they're definitely that box office movie or moment was definitely the make or break though. Like they were a little bit more usually these guys can predict it well enough so they will get the second one going, and then the second one flops, then they know they're not going to do a third. But because people thought this movie was going to be bad, they were waiting a little more. So once they made I forgot the number, they made a lot of money compared to the budget. They immediately broke even. On that first couple days of release, they're hands down gonna do another one. For sure. And in the teaser also, like they were talking about.
The riddles were very weird to me in my head. I just remember that right now.
I liked them. They were really good.
They were interesting. They Zodiac Killer type riddles.
He was like a combination of the Zodiac Killer, the Unabomber, the guy from Seven, if you've seen that movie.
Nope.
It's a very good movie. The serial killer from Seven, and one other Ted... No, I think that's Zodiac Killer. Yeah, so like those three, most like those are like heavy inspiration.
Then it's like Spanish, and they ran the whole thing like a bird does not fly. What was it?
El Rata,
or something like that. Yeah.
I love that part. That was.
Really and the biggest thing was like, you guys don't know the difference between L and L.
L and La.
Or L, whatever the fuck it's called.
And
like L and Locke. Really? Even I know that.
Like, I liked how in this movie Batman and Gordon technically lost.
Yes.
Because the Riddler got to the end of his plans. They didn't really catch him. He surrendered. And they were wrong for a lot of their riddles. Like, they didn't get the bird thing. They didn't get the light thing. They didn't get the orphanage thing. Bruce Wayne was kind of saved, but that was more circumstance rather than Yeah. So, the Riddler really did do everything he wanted to do. And it was really nice, because that is how it was. In the first couple of years, Batman wasn't perfect. Right? So, he was still, making lots of mistakes. And it's going to be really interesting to see. He still was very smart in this movie, but how much more they can take that. And the writing was really good as well. They made it seamless.
I'm trying to think of the Joker's entrance to most Batman movies.
In The Dark Knight, he was one of the robbers, and then as the robbers kill each other,
he was the main guy.
He was the last one.
Because in this movie, he was already in jail, very caught up, already caught, sitting in jail. And then he met the Riddler. And then Gotham, he essentially breaks. He kills his mom and like breaks.
Yeah, he was a forensic scientist or something.
No, and
oh no, that's his twin brother.
No, in Gotham, Joker was a circus person who ends up killing his mother. And
are you sure?
Yeah, I remember this completely.
But what was that whole thing with his brother who looked exactly like him?
That's Ed, and
he was manipulating him, and then he cracked and really became the Joker.
He doesn't have a brother. I don't think he has a brother.
Yeah, he has a brother.
I'm sure you're not talking about like when Ed sees himself in a mirror.
No. There's like 2 of them, and I remember the whole thing was they were trying to keep him from killing him.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I vaguely remember. Like one of them was like a very ordered, like shy guy, and then one of them was Joker, really crazy.
I know what you're talking about, but
and then inevitably when the one guy died, the other one became the main. Ew, he looks gross.
Damn, he really
The funny thing is, the actor for him is actually a really good actor.
Yeah, he's the one who was also in Shameless.
Mm-hmm. And he was in Jedi Fallen Order. He was the main character who did the mocap for it and all the stuff.
Damn, is that how he ends up looking like?
Oh my god. Ew.
I vibe with it, though. It's crazy, but
he just looks like a dead guy with hair.
It does. It's really weird.
There's nothing clown about it, bro.
I mean, he went off 100%, but when he carved his face out in one of the episodes...
Yeah, that was pretty lit.
I was like, damn, okay, pop up, bro. Ain't no Joker do it like that.
That was straight from the comics.
Yeah. That's interesting. But yeah, no, I know like his original breaking point was...
Yeah, look, there's like his brother and then him.
Espionage, eccentric, something. I don't know. But I know like the original breaking point for Joker in that movie was when his mom dies. And everyone's going through the circus people, and they're trying to figure out who killed her and all that stuff. It's him sitting in there being interrogated by Jim. What's it?
What's it, Jim?
The cop?
Yeah, one of the main characters, Jim.
Yeah, him. And then Joker was getting interrogated with his blind father, I guess, and he figures out that his dad was the blind guy that's been taking care of him is actually his dad. And I guess like someone killed him, and then like he kind of breaks, and he kind of sits there and goes, "So why'd you kill him?" To Joker, and Joker breaks right then and there, and starts doing his like evil laugh. And then the hot lady from Deadpool was sitting in the back, like as a psychiatrist type person watching them. And she's like, "Oh damn, okay, he broke him." And then like that's when he essentially breaks and becomes Joker. That's what I remember.
Do you think? I like the way they did this as well because it's very ambiguous. Do you think that the Riddler knew Batman's identity? Because a lot of people are torn about what actually happened.
No.
I also don't think he did.
No.
But a lot of people are presenting really good arguments for why. Like, he said, "I know the real you." And he said, like, "I think people are trying to focus on the wrong thing." And he was like, "You're wearing a mask and that's the real one." And he looked at him, and the way he was saying Bruce Wayne, like it was even designed by the director, so you're supposed to think he knows. But
then you figure out he doesn't. He's just saying that as the next.
That's the thing. He says it so ambiguously, you don't know.
And the whole like mask thing, I think, was represented as like the person you are in the mask, like wearing the mask, is the real person that you are because you're covering yourself from society and you're showing yourself off. And that's why in like the Joker, like the movie The Joker, whenever he puts on his like little clown thing is like his real self, I guess. But that's the furthest it'll go, I think, in my head, just because I don't think he actually knows who Batman is.
Well,
also, why would you put a hit on Bruce Wayne if he knows Bruce Wayne is Batman?
That's what a lot of people are saying, but I think it's not. One of the theories is that he didn't know until that happened, and then he realized that they must be the same person, and he realized that if he likes Batman and does not necessarily have anything against Bruce Wayne, it's more like Bruce's dad, and then he was kind of like, since I know Batman's the real you and all that, what he was saying. But there's a lot of good theories out there. I suggest you read them. They're interesting. But I still don't think he knew. Like, I think he was very close to finding out, but something about his mental state did not allow him to. Yeah. Because, like, all over the walls it says, "I know who the real you is," and, like, pictures of Bruce as a kid and all that stuff. So it makes sense why he would know, or why he would get the idea that he would know.
That one newspaper picture of, like, when his dad is giving a speech, and the Riddler as a kid was sitting in the back looking at Bruce. I was like,
that was so weird.
That's weird. That's extra, but all right, I guess.
Yeah, that was
like he already knew as a kid that he's gonna grow up and like kill his family and become a terrorist. But yeah, sure.
Huh?
You tell me. Never mind.
He was an orphan.
No, I'm talking about the Riddler.
Yeah,
he already knew he was gonna grow up and like blow up the whole world.
No,
that's why he was looking at Bruce like that.
No, he was probably just jealous because Bruce was a kid with parents who had a lot of stuff, and he was a choir boy at a dinky orphanage that didn't have anything. And
I'd low-key want to have the discussion that he had, maybe not today, but maybe not ever, but maybe not while we're recording.
Maybe not on air.
Maybe not on air. Actually,
maybe not with other people.
Of like the whole like conversation of like, oh, poor Bruce Wayne, an orphan with millions of dollars behind his name and a house and all that mumbo jumbo.
The money makes it go down easy.
Yeah, like an orphan is he's not an orphan because he has all this stuff, and I'm like, I sat there for a solid second. I zoned out. I was like, damn, that's a good argument. Okay, hold up. Let me think about this a little bit.
And also, what was the thing that he was? The whole like idea of like why he was mad was really interesting because that's like it's a current problem, been a problem, but it's like, you know, when change doesn't happen in your lifetime, it's very difficult. And other people also are frustrated, and usually the downtrodden and the most like people on the lowest rung of society are the ones that get angry, right?
Yeah.
And when they want to do something, they will like, lash out, right? And sometimes it happens. Right. And does it make it right, like that he killed all those people? No. But does the idea make sense that all of these people are like around the city, not just him, are frustrated with the way things are going, and they just can't do anything about it? So then that's why they
were rooting for the Riddler in the end when they
just like go purge mode at the end because they're like, no one will change anything, so I need to be the change, because that's exactly what Batman did.
Yeah.
Except people like Batman, people don't like Riddler, but they're technically doing the same thing.
But they were rooting for Riddler at one point. The people,
a select group of people, but
but you remember like
the city as a whole.
Remember when they was driving up to the funeral, and that's where he met like Falcon and everything. But there were like a bunch of signs like, "We're the truth," and blah blah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, because they were also pissed that like their whole government was corrupt.
Yeah,
so now when you figure all that out, like Batman, people just tolerate. Like they don't necessarily hate him just now.
He hasn't hurt us fully yet.
Yeah, now at the end of the movie, they like him more than they hate him. But for the Riddler's guys, they hated him initially because he was morally bad. Yeah. Right? Like all of the people at the top of society were like, he's bad.
He's a bad boy.
But then all the people on the ground level were like, no, like
he's showing all the dirty cops.
Yeah, he's kind of exposing everything that we've had problems with for the last. And then even Selena was like, yeah, like he's kind of right. Like those dirty rich people, like they deserve to die. So like
I'm waiting for her to figure out what Batman is.
I think. Yeah, they always play it very fast and loose with how Selena knows and all that stuff. But
you remember, was it Tristan they were like at the very end of the movie when they're like kissing at the graveyard, and they were like, "How are you on a bike on a balcony? How are you gonna get down?"
Oh yeah, I thought about that.
And Tristan was dying of laughter, and Amar was like, "Bro, he's not wrong." And they're all like both on a balcony, and she takes the cat, puts it in a bag, zips up the bag.
Yeah, he was like, "Is that a cat?" I think what it was is there was like a hill,
there was a hill and
and at the top there was a little pyre. And they were sitting on the rail of the pyre.
But Tristan was sitting in the movie. He's like dying. Is like, how are you gonna get down with a bike? Where are you going, bro? Where's the cat?
The entire time in the movie, me and Thomas were just like leaning over to each other, and we were like, dude, do this. Oh, but that was crazy.
The ending scene of them driving down like out of the graveyard or the cemetery. I keep saying graveyard. Cemetery, where they're like kind of like speeding up past each other, like, that was cute. I was like, y'all are ugly,
I did not notice that the first time I watched the movie. I only noticed it when we watched it together.
I noticed it. I was looking at Mar. I was like, bleh. And he's like, true.
The girl was fighting.
And then they did the dramatic cinematic.
Where
I go left, you go right.
Oh, that was so.
And she looks back through the mirror, and he looks back through the mirror. He's like, no. The only thing I like there.
And then the music gets loud, and the motorcycle gets loud, and then it goes done. So good.
The last thing I'm gonna bring up is the Batmobile.
It was so good, dude.
It was very interesting. I thought it stalled. I thought the joke was that it stalled whenever like it turned on first, because he like kind of like revved his engine. He went up a little bit, and then everyone's like, "Oh, run!" And then he drove off. But I was like, "Did it stall right there?"
Have you ever seen that one ad for this mobile app where these girls are like sitting on top of their laundry machines?
No.
And they're like,
"Are you sure it's an ad?"
Enjoying it. Yes.
Are you sure it's an ad?
Yes, it's for like some house building game.
Does it start with a P and end with a V?
Nope. No, I'm sure about this one.
I've seen these ads before on there, bro.
And then there's like other versions of this ad. I would Patrick Star onto the Batmobile, bro, and just let it purr, because that was so lit.
It was nice,
I loved it. How it was like an actual car. Like in the Dark Knight, I was like, tank?
It's a tank, it's a car, it's a Tesla, it's a...
Alright, it's a Tesla.
I don't know what it was.
It's actually the what's
new
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck?
The Cybertruck. And then in all the other movies, it was like this super, like
sleeked out, like
right.
Morgan Freeman.
But this one, straight up, it was like, it's just an armored car.
Yeah, I think it was like a Charger or
exposed
Challenger or
engine.
like that, yeah.
And I was like,
in my head, at one point while they were racing, like driving on the highway, I'm like, oh, he drives stick. Nice.
hey,
Batman drives stick.
Batman's a classic.
Batman got time to shift and turn on his missiles. All right, if you say so.
Yeah, and I like to all the UI, even though it's 2020, 21 or 22, the UI in the Batmobile and the Batcave and everything was old. Like,
yeah, it was older.
But then, there's social media and there's like cameras and all that stuff.
Also,
he was driving an Aston Martin. The Penguin was driving an Aston.
Yeah, the Batcave.
Lit.
What was that? Was that a train station?
Yeah, it's underneath Wayne something. There's like an old train station that was abandoned.
But I was like, that's not a cave technically. I mean, a cave is a cave, but like because there's bats. But I was like, that's weird. I thought it was like literally a cave in the middle of nowhere, somehow connected to the Wayne Manor.
It's
but
not a full. It's not a full cave, but it is.
It's literally a subway.
Yeah, like in the Dark Knight movies, it's the same thing. It's the abandoned railway instead of the abandoned trains. It's like a mining thing that they had for the city.
That's why I was like, okay, I guess if you say so.
But no, I really like the movie overall.
Yeah. It was not bad. Anyway, thank you all for listening. I'm gonna go and eat an Oreo.
And I'm gonna probably take a nap.
Bro, you ain't got time. You gotta go to class.
I have 30 minutes.
I guess that's true. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Happy spring break. Happy getting drunk and meeting your significant other. Never mind.
Enjoy Cabo or wherever, or your bedroom.
Mexico, Colorado, the bed, the elevator.
Netflix. Yeah. And
Thank you all for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.